Hello and welcome to the first ever news and game review. It's going to be my weekly thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to go through stories that are online that I found interesting and just put my own spin on them and just share my thoughts really. I mean, a lot of you won't care, a lot of you will just switch off at this point right now and won't have even got to care. But for those of you that do care and that just want another take on news, here I go. Um, I found a story online by an author called Michael Chong. Apparently, he's a guest author on ReadWrite.com, and he goes on about cyber warfare. Now, he starts off by saying that the Pentagon every day gets attacked 3 million times. I mean, which is a huge number to begin with. And it's like it just boggles the mind to start off with, and it makes you wonder in amazement, which is obviously what it's designed to do. It's designed to shock you and make you think, "Oh my god!" But um, he goes on to say that we're not at war with Anonymous, and we're not at war with a bunch of ethical hackers that are breaking in to tell us how to fix things. And it's like, no, we're at war with China, the red and whatever fucking colours they are, army, and which is just ridiculous. I mean, for one, fair enough, China is quite an advanced company when it comes to computers, and they've got a massive technology industry. But for anybody that knows anything about computers and hiding your internet address, pardon me, sorry, and hiding your IP address, they'll know that all of these things are done and achieved really, really easily. And that it's seriously easy to hide where you appear to be coming from. I mean, a lot of people use web proxy servers to just get around that pain in the ass YouTube video block, so they can watch that video from Germany that got blocked wherever they are, or that brand new music video. And a lot of people do this for legitimate reasons as well, to hide where their computers are connecting to. So businesses use proxy servers as well. I mean, they're normally set up specifically for the business and to handle very large amounts of web traffic. But I mean, I'm getting a bit sidetracked here. Now, although 3 million attacks a day sounds like a lot, you've got to remember most of these will be low scale, small attacks. Viruses that have been sent out into the world that are just floating around the internet that most home security systems can deal with. I mean, stuff that you wouldn't even really need to worry about. You wouldn't even need an antivirus system for, because Microsoft Windows Firewall would pick it up and kill it, because it'd try and connect on the wrong ports. And that's all well and good. I mean, most of the attacks that people think about are these high-scale attacks, people breaking in, stealing bank details, stealing vast amounts of information. And the truth of the matter is, although they're getting more and more popular and they're happening more and more, they were always happening. They just weren't thrust into the media spotlight. The only reason we know about these now is because there's a lot more social media around, and there's a lot more online bloggers, guest speakers, guest authors publishing stories like this, feeding us this information, and this very unresearched information at that. And that's why people don't know that these are just small attacks. They're not necessarily emanating from anywhere. But as for the statement, we're at war with China, we're not. In no way are we. That some of these attacks may, yes, be coming from China, and these will be the stupid hackers that haven't bothered to hide their true identity, and they'll get hunted down and sorted in their own way. But a lot of the attacks will probably be coming from within inside the United States to begin with, and other countries, and the internet traffic will be being routed through web proxy servers and being put through VPNs, which are called virtual private networks, and these are there to help you basically when you're on open networks, like when you go down to your local McDonald's or coffee shop or anything like that, you can fire up a virtual private network and you connect through somebody else's server, like this company's server in a different location, and each time you connect it, it normally give you a different location. Sometimes you can set it specifically what you want, if you want a speedy connection, and so on and so forth. Now, I want to come down to the end of the article now, and a few of the changes that Mr. Chong puts forward of how to solve this problem. I mean, because it is a problem, and then we do have to be worried about it to a certain degree, because if they were to get into a critical system, like the national grid, or the um, the stock exchange, for instance, like the London Stock Exchange, or like the New York Stock Exchange, and so on, then they could wreak havoc and bring the world to its knees, and presidents all over the world would be grovelling for their finance system back and their power back, for their computers and their telephone calls, and to watch their porn, and many gamers around the world would be really fucked off as well. But I'm getting sidetracked again. One of the plans, he says, we need to organise the defence budget, which, fair enough, is a pretty standard statement. Most people recognise this. The governments aren't putting enough money into cyber warfare and defending against it. They're sticking with old school warfare, men and women going in, getting shot, getting killed, and generally getting hurt, when all these hackers are doing is just breaking in from a computer somewhere in some dinky dark room. Well, not necessarily dark room, but and they're not getting hurt in any way at all. And because these attacks appear to be coming from across the pond and across waters where the US have no jurisdiction, they can't do anything about it, and they can't attack these people in any way, which is just comical, to be honest. But the second point, well, the very last point he makes, there are a couple other points as well. I'll include a link to this so you can read those as well. But one of the main points he makes is that we need to... oh, sorry. We need to create a new internet number 2. And this internet should use secure connections to connect to everything. And preferably it should protect, well, no, he doesn't even use the word protect, he uses the word insulate the United States from the rest of the world. Now, that is just an amazing statement for anybody to put forward, because at this point, if you do that, you're no longer creating a world wide web where people can connect to each other. You're creating an intranet, which is no different to your school's in-house system that all the computers connect to, so you can get all your information and publish your work onto the websites and so on and so forth. And everyone's web traffic will be there for the taking. You could be marketed to. All the adverts you see will be tailored to your needs, and everything that you do online will be monitored and read through and gone through, and you'll have random knocks on the door going, why did you look at that website about bombs, or why did you watch that YouTube video that had explosions in it, are you going to blow something up? And it's going to cause a lot of problems. Now, I'm going to bring this to a close now, but I want to leave you with one question. If we were to create a new internet that insulated us from the rest of the world, can you really expect to have freedom of speech? Do you really think that you will be able to seriously protect your information and not be controlled or fed information in any way? I mean, it's an interesting thing to think about, and it's sort of a V for Vendetta film idea, but it's an interesting thing to talk about. I mean, I'll let you discuss it down in the comments below. I'll link to my article about this that I wrote. I'll link to the original article as well, and I'll look to I look forward to reading your comments as well. Apologies if you've been hearing me sniff throughout this, because I've got a cold at the moment, and I've been wiping my nose as well. I think I've knocked the shade as well to stop the sun getting in. But yeah, I'm gonna bring this to a close now. I will look forward to reading your comments and seeing what you guys say about this. Apologies if I seem a bit nervous. I don't mean to be. It's just like the first podcast I've done. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you're doing. And this is Tony from the newsandgamereview.tumblr.com signing off.